Alright guys, welcome back to Twin Dragons Review. Today is going to be a solo dragon review, just me talking about Baki today. We'll be back with the duo videos after this. Leave a like and comment on the video, and don't forget to subscribe. So recently a new trailer for Baki Season 4 dropped. It's going to be really good. I'm really excited for the new season of Baki as it's going into the prison arc, which has a lot of really good fights and hype moments. We'll see the second appearance of Ian McGregor. It's Mike Tyson, but they changed his name. We'll also see the appearance of the Mouth, a trio of characters who all fight together, and another really cool character, Jun Guevara, a character based off of Che Guevara. We'll also see a lot more of Biscuit Oliva. I won't spoil anything, but if you were a fan of the past season, then this season's going to be really good too. So one thing I did want to talk about in this video was the older Baki that a lot of newer fans might not know about, but there were 2 seasons of Baki before Netflix picked it up. If you started Baki with Netflix, you might have thought you really didn't know the characters, didn't understand why it was starting that way. I was one of these people, looked it up and found out that there was a whole 50 episodes that I hadn't watched, and that's because there were 2 seasons 17 years before the Netflix seasons. It was a crazy moment when Netflix did the continuation after that long. Both seasons are 25 episodes, goes more into the backstory of the main cast like Doppo, Retsu, Jack, Baki, his dad, and why Baki wants to beat his dad. Also in the first season you meet Hanayama, a part of the main cast, but you see his backstory explained and his tattoo, which has a much deeper meaning. They have a really good fight that spans a couple episodes and concludes with Yujiro showing up after it's over. Watching these early seasons makes you appreciate the other characters more since it seems like a bunch of people always fighting for no apparent reason. So in season 1 you're also introduced to another part of the main cast, a character named Doppo Orochi. He makes multiple appearances in the later seasons and is a personal favorite of mine. He's head of the largest Shinshinkai branch in the world with his son Katsumi. You see Doppo introduced as a character who could kind of fight on equal ground with Yujiro for a couple of minutes. You'll also find out why Doppo wears the eye patch and has the scar on his face. You'll also be introduced to a few other characters. They don't show up quite as often, but they were in the earlier seasons, such as Gaia. He fought Baki in season 1, and Dr. Correa and his brother Kosho, but they're less important to the story, don't show up too often, but they are still really cool characters. And moving on to season 2, it's personally my favorite season since it's a tournament arc and I'm all about those, it's my favorite. There's a lot of great fights in season 2 and you get introduced to main characters such as Retsu Kaio, Jack, and Shibukawa, 3 members of the main cast during the later seasons. This season is just one big tournament arc, so if you're into that kind of thing, you'll love it. You'll see how much of a savage Yujiro really is, and a lot of the rest of the fighters. I mean, one guy wrestles an anaconda, so that should say something. Personally, my favorite fights of the season is Chiharu Shiba and Ian McGregor, or Baki vs. Jack. Great fights. There's plenty of other stuff to talk about with season 2, like the personal struggle between Baki and Jack, Doppo wanting to be the strongest and prove himself, but I don't want to spoil everything and leave it up to you guys to watch it and see if you enjoy it. So after the new season of Baki, the prison arc, we'll also get the pickle arc. Kind of a dumb name, but whatever, it's lit. Pretty much a caveman and everybody wants to fight him because he's so strong. I really like this arc as it shows some fights from other people we don't get to see too much, like Katsumi and Retsu. Baki was the first anime that made me read the manga all the way through because I liked it so much and I couldn't wait for the next season and I needed to see what was going to happen next. I binged it really fast too, couldn't stop reading. I definitely recommend the manga if battle manga is something that you like. It's lacking a deep plot, but that's not what makes Baki great. It's all about the fights and how intense it is. If you do plan to read the manga, here's the reading order. The first is Grappler Baki, then New Grappler Baki, Son of Ogre, and then Baki Do. There are 2 Baki Dos. The first one is with Masashi Miyamoto, the second is about sumo. Both of the Baki Dos are really good and definitely worth a read. There's also a side story of Hanayama, but when I was reading it last, it hadn't been fully translated to English. If anybody knows a source to read it all in English, let your boy know. I need that. There's also a short side story about Doppo and how he became known as the Tiger Killer. I mean, the name is obvious, but it shows it. And it also introduces Yuichiro Hanma, Baki's grandpa. So to conclude, the new season of Baki is definitely going to be hype. The day it releases, you'll catch me watching it all in one sitting. I really hope it's all going to be in one part and not split into 2 again. It's kind of annoying when they do that. That's all I got for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.